What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. And for today's video, we actually have some breaking news that has been talked about on social media for a little bit, the last few days. And that is the recent announcement that Sting, the WWE Hall of Famer and TNA Hall of Famer, plans to retire in 2023? What's that about? What is that about? Why though? What's going on? But not only is he retiring, so is Jinny. And you guys are probably wondering, who is that? Well, before we get into that, if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And before we get started, we actually do have some breaking news. I don't think I'm going to put this in the title of the video, but yesterday we found out that Jay Briscoe passed away at the age of 38. There are no words to describe that. One's thoughts on the situation. I know that every wrestler in the world was like shocked and in tears on that, but on the subject, but big shout out to excuse me. Big shout out to his family, his friends. Shoutouts to them. You guys have our condolences. Obviously it's not that I haven't heard of the Briscoe brothers, but I've heard a lot of interesting things about them. So if you guys do have a favorite Briscoes moment, drop them in. Actually, you know what? I have an idea, guys. Alright, so here is today's question of the day, which is this. What are some of your favorite Briscoe matches? And I'm very curious of what you guys have to say, because I actually want to check out some of their matches on YouTube. So if you guys do have a favorite match, drop them in the comments, and I want to see that match for myself. Hopefully it'll be on YouTube, but I'm sure it will be. But I'm very curious of what you guys of what your favorite matches are. But with that being said, again, condolences go out to Jay Briscoe's family and friends. That is heartening to hear. But with that being said, you guys are probably wondering, who is Jinny? So Jinny was a part of NXT UK since its inception back in the fall of 2018. And people forget that she was also a part she was also a part of I think the first ever Mae Young Classic in 2017, and she got pretty far. I think she made it past. I think she got got to the second round, if I remember correctly, and she became a household name in NXT. And funny thing is that when WWE announced that NXT UK would be going on hiatus, literally so many talent, excuse me. There were a lot of talent that got released from WWE. Guys like guys like Jinny and guys like Sid Scala, guys like Trent Seven, Rampage Brown, Shaw Samuels, pretty much almost the entire NXT UK roster got released from WWE except for a few. Tyler Bate, Ilya Dragunov, Nathan Fraser, Isla Dawn, and now we know that Stevie Turner will also be a part of the NXT brand as well. Pretty Deadly were two others that did not get released. Gallus as well. Mako Satomura, Blair Davenport, and there were a few others as well. Oral Mensa, or I guess Oliver Carter as well. They were also among the small batch of NXT UK talent that actually jumped shipped over to NXT, which is interesting because when you think about it, these guys dominated NXT UK with an iron fist. Jinny was one of them. And funny thing is that there were rumors that she was supposed to have been one of the talent that was supposed to jump shipped over to NXT, but apparently that did not come to pass as she was moved to WWE.com's alumni section, despite being under contract. And she actually took to Twitter earlier this week, announcing her retirement, issuing the following statement, and I quote, "After a long time away due to an injury, I've made the decision to hang up my fashionable boots. Thank you for all the memories. I'll remember them forever. Every journey has an end, but in life, every ending is just a new beginning. I'm excited about what's next." And there's been a lot of speculation that she could jump ship directly into the main roster, being the fact that she's now the wife of the current Intercontinental Champion, Gunta. Yeah, they are actually together, if you can actually believe it. But it's hard. It's hard to say. We don't really know exactly if Jinny could jump ship to the main roster, but I actually want to showcase to you guys Jinny. Here we are, WWE. Sorry guys, I actually have a massive blanket here. I know it's a Denver Broncos blanket, but it's just that it gets real cold, especially this early in the morning. It's like right now in the fucking 40s. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. So I do apologize if I have this blanket over my legs, over my lower body. I have a jacket on as well. Okay, so something's going on with my laptop. Not doing anything. So, with that being said, my thoughts on this whole thing while this is being loaded. There are no words that can describe what's going through my mind on this situation, because Jinny was probably one of the best heels in NXT UK. I mean, yeah, sure, there were women like Stevie Turner and and Xia Brookside. Even though Xia Brookside was a babyface for years, she slowly started to become a heel, and when the rumors of Jinny started to swirl earlier this week, a part of me just kept asking myself, what's going on? What's happening? Why is she retiring? And truth be told, we found out, just now that she had an injury. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I was a bit shocked. But for those who don't for those who don't know about Jinny's accomplishments, overall, Pro Wrestling Chaos Maiden of Chaos Championship. She was ranked number 45 in the top 100 female wrestlers in the PWI Female 100 back in 2019. She's a two-time Progress Women's Champion, a former Revolution Pro Wrestling British Women's Champion, and even won the tournament as well. And also is a former South Coast Queen of the Ring champion. I mean, she does have some accomplishments there, guys. But the question is, are we going to see her in WWE? Are we going to see her back in WWE? Could we see her in NXT? Could we see her on SmackDown? The possibilities are there. But we don't really know. We don't know. It's kind of hard to say. It's hard to say whether or not we'll see her back in WWE. I think once her injury is cleared up, once her injuries are healed, I think we could potentially see her in WWE. Probably not as a competitor, but more of a manager role, I'd probably say. That's just how I see it. But it is what it is. But we do gotta now talk about Sting. The Icon Sting. There are so many mixed emotions with this one, because I grew up watching Sting from his days in TNA. This dude was a hell of a competitor. This dude just dominated pro wrestling since his debut back in November of 1985. And the thing is that he actually got inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame back in 2012. Or I guess now the Impact Hall of Fame. So for those who don't know, he started his career in as I mentioned before, back in 1985, and then just kept winning championships left and right from there on. You know, even in WCW for throughout most of his career, he was a part of Jim Crockett Promotions, or as we see it now as WCW. NWA. And just dominated ever since. And he had won so many titles in WCW, and when WCW went out of business in 2001, he went on to do other things. And the funny thing is that he was actually funny thing, what people don't know is that Sting was actually in contact. He was under contract negotiations with WWE in 2002, but he did not join WWE. I guess he wanted to I guess he wanted to continue his career outside of WCW, outside of WWE, and decided to make sporadic appearances on TNA before joining them full time right around 2005, which is pretty cool. And he just dominated TNA ever since. He dominated TNA for so many years until his departure, I think in what was it, 2014? Yeah, I thought so, because he was he got released from TNA. Actually, no, he did not. He did not get released. It was the fact that he lost a match to Magnus in 2014, where it was Sting's career versus Magnus and the TNA World Title at the pay-per-view known as Genesis, which ended up being a it ended up being a freak show, which is kind of hilarious. But he ended up making several sporadic appearances on on WWE, in various interviews and whatnot. Excuse me. Before signing with WWE later on in 2014, and then eventually finally showed up at Survivor Series, and the rest is history from there. Now he's a part of the promotion known as AEW, and now from what I'm seeing here, he's aligned himself with a man named Darby Allin, looks like. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it from there. Not sure what Sting plans to do after that, but yeah, I mean, he's had a hell of a career. And if you guys don't know about his career, check this out, guys. Apparently, so AEW has awards, I guess. So the AEW Dynamite Award for biggest surprise, debuting during their special, which is called "Winter is Coming" the special "Winter is Coming" episode of Dynamite. So I don't watch AEW, but I've seen clips on social media of that moment, and I mean, the show looks promising. Maybe I might watch it one of these days. I don't know if I will or not. I haven't decided, but I might. But I don't think I probably will. WCW. If you guys don't know about his WCW career, check this out, guys. NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, which was a part of Jim Crockett Promotions, World Television Champion, NWA World Heavyweight Champion, WCW International World Heavyweight Champion 2 times, WCW United States Heavyweight Champion 2 times, 6-time WCW World Champion, 3-time Tag Team Champion with Lex Luger, The Giant, and Kevin Nash. Big Sexy. And of course, The Giant being none other than The Big Show, or I guess now Paul White. Battle Bowl, Battle Royal winner, 1991. European Cup winner, 1994 and 2000. Iron Man Tournament, 1989. Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup, 1988 with Lex Luger. King of Cable Tournament, 1992. London Lethal Lottery Tag Team Tournament, 2000 with Scott Steiner. Whoa, I literally just kicked my fucking my desk with my knee. Sorry, guys. WCW United States Championship Tournament, 1991, 1995. World Cup of Wrestling, 1995 with Randy Savage, Lex Luger, Johnny B. Bad? Who is that guy? Oh, okay. So Mark Merrow. Okay. Alright then, now I got it. Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and Alex Wright. Never heard of that dude before. Third WCW Triple Crown Champion. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. Pro Wrestling Illustrated Comeback of the Year 2006, 2011, 2014. Match of the Year 1991 with Lex Luger and Sting taking on the Steiner Brothers at Super Brawl 1. Most Improved Wrestler of the Year 1988. Most Inspirational Wrestler of the Year 1990. Most Popular Wrestler of the Year 1991, 92, 94, and 97. Wrestler of the Year 1990, ranked number one in the top 500 singles wrestlers in the PWI 592. Ranked 15 in 2003, and ranked number 52 in the top 100 tag teams of the PWI years with Lex Luger in 2003. Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame 2018. TNA. Get this, guys. NWA World Champion. So he's a 2-time champion. 4-time TNA World Champion. 1-time TNA World Tag Team Champion with Kurt Angle. TNA World Heavyweight Championship Tournament, first bracket, 2009. 2012 TNA Hall of Famer. And now for the TNA Year-End Awards. Most Inspirational Wrestler of the Year 2007. Match of the Year 2007 with against Kurt Angle at Bound for Glory, October 14th, 2007. I might have to watch that one. I'll have to watch it on YouTube to see if it's there. Match of the Year 2009 against AJ Styles at Bound for Glory, October 18th, 2009. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty crazy. So I'm definitely I'm actually going to take a photo of that. There we go. There we go. Let's see here. Universal Wrestling Federation. World Tag Team Champion 3 times, 2 with Eddie Gilbert. And 1 with Rick Steiner. That's pretty crazy. World Wrestling All-Stars Heavyweight Champion. And then, of course, the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Match of the Year 1988 against Ric Flair at Clash of the Champions. Most Charismatic 1988 and 1992. Most Improved 1988. Most Unimproved 1990. Best Babyface 1992. Worst Worked Match of the Year 1995 against Tony Palmore at Battle 7. Worst Worked Match of the Year 2011 against Jeff Hardy at Victory Road. Oh, okay, I know exactly what match he's talking about. What match they were talking about. So if you guys don't know, it was because of the fact that Jeff Hardy was drugged. He was taking drugs that night. I do remember that one very, very fondly. I'll have to watch that one on YouTube as well. Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame class of 2016, and then of course WWE Hall of Famer 2016 class, and then 2-time Slammy Award winner, one for This Is Awesome Moment of the Year 2014, which obviously was debuting to help Team Cena defeat The Authority at Survivor Series, and then of course Surprise Return of the Year 2015. Playing the role of Seth Rollins' statue, and decided to attack Rollins on Raw. Those are hella accomplishments, guys. So, as far as Sting goes, he mentioned he was in a interview with D Magazine. Big shout out, no copyrights. He said he was asked about He was asked if his current contract with AEW would be his last, and he said that, and he said, quote, "Whatever I do, I want wrestling fans to say that was incredible. I don't want them to walk away going, that was embarrassing. I just want it to be a great memory, and then to just finally once and for all say adios." And the article mentioned, quote, "His wife worries, so do some of his friends, but they're also curious. They too wonder how Sting's story ends. He knows only that it's soon. His deal with AEW expires sometime this year. He won't say exactly when. When it ends, so will his time behind the face paint." So my thoughts on this whole thing, if he is gonna retire this year, I think it's probably for the best, because if you think about it, especially in WWE, he only wrestled what, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 matches in WWE, because he spent most of his time in WCW and in TNA. He spent literally more than 80% of his. He's literally spent more than 80% of his career in WCW and in TNA, back in the 80s, 90s, and and the early to late 2000s. So it's hard to say it's hard to predict what his future will be. But I can guarantee you that if he does retire, I can guarantee you that he will come back to WWE and make sporadic appearances. For all we know, we could see him come back as a manager. For all we know, which honestly, that'd be fucking awesome. That would be fucking awesome. But I don't want to talk too much about it. I think if I had to pick my all-time favorite moment from Sting, whether it was from his time in TNA or WWE or whatever, I think my favorite moment will probably have to be Sting reforming the Main Event Mafia in 2013 during with his rivalry with the Aces and Eights, because that right there was probably his best work thus far, in my personal opinion. But I want your guys' thoughts on both of these topics. Let me know in the comments below your all-time favorite Sting moment and your personal favorite, and of course your all-time favorite Jinny moment. I think for me, my favorite Jinny moment would probably have to be her match with Meiko Satomura and the NXT UK Women's title. That match, I think that match did take place. Because I think Jinny was in WWE not that long, but she could. I think she could do more. So let me know in the comments, and that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys want more videos like this in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.